Hello, listeners. Hustlers Horizon Podcast, episode 27.
Yep, 27.
Going by fast, having a blast, as always. Well, today we have a very special guest, Marla Evans, the owner of the Stretching Place, taking some time to be with us today. How are you doing today, Marla?
Good. Thanks for having me out here, guys. I appreciate it.
Of course.
We appreciate you coming out, and sorry we couldn't make it to your studio like we planned because we're so busy, but hey, we're making this happen.
We're making
That's
it work.
definitely in the works.
Yeah.
And you know, Marla, you walked in here and you're just going today. So let's talk about what was the inspiration to open the Stretching Place? You seem like you're a busy person. I mean, you just go. What was the inspiration? How did that all start?
Yeah, great story. I need it. There's the story. I recognize, how much I needed the stretching. Mm-hmm. And so really what happened, a couple years ago, I was having some back issues. I mean, who doesn't have low back issues? Welcome to the human race,
This
right?
guy.
Welcome to the human race. Anyway, I was doing physical therapy, and I had a girl doing laser on my back.
Okay.
And we just got to chatting. Somehow the conversation turned to stretching. I don't know how we got there. We got there. And she mentioned that her parents owned a couple of franchise stretch studios out in Albuquerque, and that was the first I'd ever heard of this. What a stretching studio? The only thing you do is you just go there. Yeah, you lay on the table and they take you through a stretch. I thought, that's brilliant. Oh my gosh, who doesn't need to stretch? I know how good I feel when my I work out with a personal trainer, and they'll take me through a stretch every now and then. And it's like, I feel amazing afterwards. So I thought, well, that sounds cool. So I started looking into it. I spent about a year and a half.
Oh, wow.
I explored 4 different stretching franchises, looking into how they work and what they do, and this whole boutique fitness thing. And twice I almost signed on the dotted line with 2 different franchises. Both times they fell apart at the last minute. After the second one fell apart, I said, okay, God, I can take a hint.
Yeah.
Sometimes it takes me a while, but I can take a hint, right? And I said, I've got the knowledge, I've got the skills, I've got the determination, I've got him. And this is a very basic business model. It's not overly complicated. I can do this.
Yeah.
So here we are. I tell people we are not a franchise. We are 1,000% local. We are one crazy woman with a big dream and a second working.
There you go.
That is the Stretching Place.
Yeah.
And so we're all about helping the people of Amarillo just feel amazing.
Yeah.
What's your little catch line you use?
Loosen up, literally.
Yeah. but she says it all energetic and stuff. It's pretty cool.
Loosen up, literally. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah. And I was going to mention your husband works there too, right? Y'all are doing it together? Or?
Yeah. He. Another funny story. Adventures in entrepreneurship, right?
There you go.
So we opened the studio with just me. I had one other beautiful woman working for me doing the stretching. We call them flex pros, the people who are doing the stretching. And then my husband was working the front desk.
Yeah.
And bless him, he is not the most technologically savvy guy. I literally sat him down and said, here's the phone number for tech support for the software we're using. There's the computer. Go figure it out.
Yeah.
And he did. It was amazing. And so then we eventually did hire a couple girls to work the front desk. So he was gone for a while. He kept telling everybody, well, I'm trying to get myself fired, but it's not working yet. So he did finally get himself fired, but then Kaya, she was amazing, but she decided she wanted to go explore the world outside of Amarillo. She's, 20-something years old.
There
you
you
can
go.
do that
Wow.
when you're that age. And so he's back filling in
Yeah.
for her. So he's working a couple days a week.
Well, that's good.
There you go. She said he tried to get fired.
Fired?
and
Yeah.
He finally did.
He might have been fired like 10 times already. I feel like, but he's sticking around.
And yet he's back.
Well, I want to ask how important that is to start this business. You have this vision, right? And the confidence is there, and you're like, I believe. The faith is there. You're like, let's do this. But how much does it mean to be able to do that with your husband, right? He's right beside you. You're doing it together.
Yeah.
And how much has that meant to you?
Oh, that is so cool. And it really is cool to just have him there and, be interacting together and people get a kick out of us seeing us together working and, just our different personalities and whatnot. It's a lot of fun.
That's what I've noticed, that he's kind of quiet and then you're
Kinda.
loud. So they like contradict each
She
other.
said kinda.
Kinda. We are as opposite as opposite can get.
That's awesome.
You walk in and say, yeah, just normal. And then she's over there all energetic and stuff. That's very cool. So the Stretching Place, how long has it been in business? I think did you join BNI when it first started, or did you already have
I
it
was
before?
in the process of opening it.
Yes. Okay. So it's fairly
we actually
new.
opened in end of February. Was
Okay.
when we first opened. So
That's pretty cool. And what was the hardest part of getting started?
finding a freaking location. Oh
The
my
location.
gosh. Yeah, we had some drama with the first place we were looking at for a lease. Of course, some of this was me inexperienced. I don't know what I'm doing, right?
Yeah.
But then God blessed us with the location over there on South Coulter. And I think that was a lot
awesome.
better location than when we were. When
And
we
it's
were
it's a
looking at
good
the first
area
time.
too.
Yeah,
A
yeah,
lot
it
of
really
traffic, and
Yeah.
there's a barber shop, a nail place beside it. That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
And so what? My main question is the stretching place, like, because you talk a lot about like specific stretches, right? What was that bed that I did?
Oh, yeah.
It was legit. It was legit. Yeah. What was it called?
It's called the Sound Lounge.
Okay. And what is that supposed to do?
Yeah, it is a vibroacoustic therapy bed.
Okay.
So just for those of you who haven't seen the photo of it, it's like a zero gravity kind of bed, right?
Okay.
And you lay on the bed. Has four, they're called transducers. They're like speakers, but speakers move air. Transducers directly transmit the vibration from the transducer into your body. So you're laying on this bed, you've got these four transducers all along your body emitting these beautiful, relaxing vibrations. You've got a couple of speakers over here listening to beautiful, relaxing music, and just the frequency of that vibration just helps the whole body just go.
It feels like you're
let
floating.
go.
Really?
Yeah, you look that.
Yeah, that sounds
dope.
awesome.
Yeah,
Yeah,
you
we
should
hear
try
that a
it.
lot of people are floating.
Yeah.
That's the best nap I've ever had. That's the most relaxed I've ever been. Yeah, it's great for blood circulation, pain, depression,
Yeah.
sleep. I mean, it's been used or studied in so many different things. Parkinson's disease is a big thing they're looking
Yeah.
at right now. Alzheimer's
wow.
is a big thing
Wow.
they're looking at with this technology. And so I brought that into the studio kind of as an adjunct to our stretching.
Yeah.
And so a lot of people will go in and do a sound lounge session for 25 minutes prior to their stretch session, just to shake off the stress. You know, they're coming right from work. They're like this, right? Get my shoulders hurt.
Yeah.
And they'll do a sound lounge session just to shake all that off, and then
Yeah.
they're more relaxed for their stretch session and can get a little deeper
Okay.
stretch.
It's nice.
Yeah.
Well, and it's, and I never realized how important that is, right? You hear, especially when I was going for my laser treatment, when I go and like, I feel good, but what can I do, just throughout the week and stretching, certain stretches, Cassie gave me a book of all these certain stretches. So I didn't realize how important that is for your body, right? To just keep it all. Cause you said people come in there, they're like, my neck hurts, my shoulders. And then after they leave, it's like, dang.
Yeah.
So
we hear it. Yeah, all
I
the
could
time.
imagine, and you said that before you opened this, you did some studies on it for about 1.5 years, about 2 years, you said, right? And so when you did that, I guess we've already asked like the hardest part, right?
Yeah.
Like of starting this business, right? For a business owner, you get into something like this, you have this research, right? And you just do it, you go with it. How has that process been from then to now, right? You see the clientele starting to build up. How was that process starting off? I can imagine with any business people open, they're scared. It's scary.
Oh, yeah.
How was that for you?
It was scary. I'm blessed to not be relying on this for my primary income. If I was relying on this for a primary income, it would be a whole lot scarier. But my husband's retired, so that side of things is taken care of. And God bless us with some great seed money to get started with the company. But still, for the first time, I have employees. I've been self-employed for a very long time as a contractor for various organizations. But this is the first time I've had employees, and oh my gosh, someone else is relying on me and my skills to be able to pay their rent. And it's like, oh my gosh, I feel the pressure. So that's been kind of scary to getting that part of it. But it's working out really well. I've got an amazing team. Right now, I love the ladies that are working with us. Love my husband, can't leave him out too. That was kind of understood. But yeah, love the folks that are working with me. They're doing an amazing job. But that was quite a responsibility. I really do feel that weight of responsibility to make sure that they are taken care of.
Because they gotta make money to feed their families and all that stuff.
But her personality, your energy that you have, it's just a good energy to be around. So I can imagine anyone who's a part of that team. You have all this pressure, and then you're feeling this, but to them, they're probably like, man, I love it. I love working here. So awesome. Yeah, most definitely. Well, congratulations. I just want to say congratulations on everything. And I'm so excited to just hear some more, learn some more about this whole process.
Yeah. I wanted to go back though. You said you've worked for other organizations, things like that. What's your background like? What did you do before this? what are you from Amarillo? Where are you from?
I'm too young to say this, but I've been in Amarillo for quite some time. We aren't going to declare how many birthdays we have here. I laugh when you say what's my background, because my background is
All
one of the
over the
most
place.
literally
That's
all
interesting,
over the
though,
place. My bachelor's degree is in music performance with teacher certification. So I was a band director here in town for 2 years.
Oh, wow.
Way back when.
Can we ask where?
At Bowie.
Bowie, okay.
Okay.
Bowie Middle School, way back in the day. Y'all knew me as Miss Feddock, those of you who are...
Miss Feddock.
That's my maiden name. Lasted 2 years there. I was a live-in counseling parent at the children's home for a couple of years. I was a photographer's assistant for a while. I worked at an insurance adjuster's office for a bit. A couple of years, I was doing insurance adjusting as well as secretary work for him. Worked for a tech company, a law firm. I was a background investigator for the federal government for 10 or 12 years.
Oh, nice.
Handling those, like out at Pantex and those who need the top secret clearances.
Oh, really?
I was handling their background investigations for a while. That was an interesting job. And then along the way, probably 15 years ago or so, kind of got into the holistic health and nutrition, functional health realm. Spent some time as a health coach and working with people with autoimmune conditions, this kind of thing. Sort of fell into Pilates instructor. I kind of was getting burned out on the health coaching thing, was looking for something else. That just kind of plopped in my lap. I'm like, okay, cool, let's do this. And I'm having a blast.
Yeah.
I've been doing that for 3 years.
You're still doing that now?
I still do that now, just 2 days a week, 2 mornings a week I'm over there.
Okay.
But I really enjoy it. I love my clients. I enjoy taking them through the exercises. I like listening to them.
That's awesome.
Complain about, oh my gosh, that was so hard. Anyway, it's funny. I have great rapport with the folks coming to my classes. And then just kind of, I'd been looking, when I decided to let the health coaching go, I'd been thinking, what is my next thing? What is my next thing? And I've had kind of an entrepreneurial spirit forever.
Yeah.
And I've always really wanted to get something really going. And so when I learned about this assisted stretching studio concept, it really intrigued me, like I said, because I needed it. I know how important it is for other people to maintain their flexibility and mobility.
Absolutely.
And so I thought, cool, let's do it.
Let's do it. That's awesome. You have a lot of experience in a lot of things.
A lot of things.
What was one of your favorite jobs that you did?
You know,
The Pantex one or the background stuff sounds pretty interesting.
Yeah, that was an excruciatingly difficult job.
Was it?
Just because of the I was working as a subcontractor, so I wasn't directly employed by the government. I was working for a contractor as a contractor. So I was technically a subcontractor for a couple of different companies who were doing that work. And just the company culture wasn't that great. It was very negative. You know? You only hear from somebody when you screw up, you know. And then there's always the pressure on you if you do something wrong. I mean, if you really screw up, you could be looking at jail time because obviously this is a matter of national security, right?
Absolutely.
And so there was always that pressure. And yet at the same time, it allowed me to go lots of different places. I was able to go up to Denver for 2 years to study nutrition and take that job with me. That's how I put myself through that school. I got to meet lots of really cool people. While I was up in Denver, I was working for one of the contractors and doing a background investigation on someone, and got to look through the window into the clean room where they were building a satellite that they were going to shoot into outer space to go land on a comet. So that was cool to watch that get built. That was really cool. I got to talk to, I love hearing people's stories. I really do. You're making me think maybe I need to do a podcast because I love hearing people's stories. Because I need one more thing to do. But it was neat to hear people's stories, and I got to talk to everyone. I remember one day, this day will always stick in my mind, was working here in town, and I had an appointment with a person at a company. The head CEO, I mean, top dog of a large company here in town. Walk in, and he's got the executive assistant. She's wearing her suit, very, very high level professional, very formal. Walk into his paneled office, with all this and yes sir and no sir, and did the interview that I needed to do for the investigation. I left his office and I drove, 15, 20 minutes outside of Canyon to, oh Lord bless these people, just the most run down trailer homes, just kind of on the side of the highway kind of thing. And just very poverty stricken place, and talking to people there. So it just the difference
Yeah.
between going from here to here and seeing how different people live and what's going on just really struck me that day.
That's interesting for sure.
It was a very interesting day.
Yeah.
But I got to hear lots of interesting stories, and
I'm sure you have plenty.
Oh, gosh. Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah, this you even said so many people come from different backgrounds, right? But with your experience, like you did all these things. That's experience that you have, and you learned certain things. Like once you own a business, what kind of owner do you want to be? What do you not want to be, right?
Yeah.
And that's what I used to tell my dad. Growing up, I was like, I'm not really feeling it here, but I don't want to be a job hopper, right? And my dad told me as I got older, he's like, I just want to tell you something. I don't think you're meant to work for somebody for the rest of your life. And some people, you got to think about it, right? Not saying that everybody is necessarily meant to be a business owner, but if you have a vision, take all of these experiences you have, which you have, and it's just crazy, all of those crazy things that you've done, and then it led you to peace, the stretching place, right? Just to really, that's just awesome. I mean, like after going through all of that and learning all of that, and then it led you to this. What really just made the stretching place, that kind of industry, this as your business, what really led you there?
I just think it was kind of a culmination of everything, and just kind of following my heart and following my gut, and how can I serve people? How can I help people?
Yeah.
And like I said, recognizing my own need with my own health issues that I deal with,
Absolutely.
and how much it helps me, and just knowing how much it could help other people. And so, I love doing this.
That's
I
awesome.
really, really
We
do.
can definitely tell. That's a good
she's
thing.
passionate
for sure.
about it, and
Yeah.
every time I'm talking to her, she's like, "Well, I got a meeting at this time," and she's always talking about it and always energetic about it. So you do stay busy and all that with your business, but what are some of your hobbies? What do you like to do for fun? Do you get to have fun?
I don't remember. I've been going 90 to nothing since last December when we started building on this.
I remember her coming into her BNI meetings and she's like, "Oh my God, I'm not caffeinated." That's her word.
I'm decaffeinated. This
Decaffeinated,
morning, yes.
yeah. But so you don't have time for fun or anything like that yet?
It's been kind of crazy here lately. We're a little short-staffed.
Yeah.
I am trying to find one more person to fill in, to kind of take, so I've been spending too much time working in my business and not enough on my business.
Okay.
And so we're actively looking for another employee who can handle specifically Saturdays and then 1 or 2 afternoons during the week.
Maybe we got some listeners that are listening.
Go to my Facebook page. We've got an ad up there. You can apply.
With the Facebook, the stretching place. That's what
Facebook.com/The Stretching Place.
Cool.
Should get you there.
Yeah.
And we've got a post up there where they can apply if they're interested in doing the stretching. But when I do have time, I love to work in the yard. I love gardening, sewing, crafting, cooking. I've got 2 hairy, crazy dogs. Take them out somewhere and play.
Yeah. What kind of dogs are they?
She's a bearded collie, which you've probably never heard of.
Yeah,
It's not a common
say,
breed in the U.S. You would look at her and think sheepdog.
Okay.
But an old English sheepdog is about twice the size of a bearded collie. But they do look very similar. Sheepadoodles look similar to bearded collies as well, as far as just the long hair, shaggy look.
Okay.
So she's about 60 pounds of hair. And then she's a beardie. The other dog, we called him a neardy because he's nearly a beardie. So we call him a neardy. He's just hairy and cute.
Yeah.
And, so they bounce around and play and bark. And we like to go have fun.
That's good.
Don't say the word shopping in my house.
No.
Because they get excited about going shopping.
Oh, really?
Oh, wow.
Yeah. They've got their fans down at the Canyon Market. When right now I'm having to work every Saturday, but before then I would take them down there every Saturday, and we've got vendors down there. They'll see us on the other side of the square, and they'll leave their booth and come running over to give Duncan a good scratch.
Wow.
You know, they've got their whole fan base over there.
That's so interesting to me how dogs are so smart. It's weird to me because I've never been a dog person.
Yeah.
We have a little Yorkie and we'll be like, "You want a snack?" And then they get excited or go outside and they just go outside. Yeah. It's weird to me. I don't know.
They
They're
say
so
dogs
smart.
are about as intelligent as a 2-year-old human, so they'll get a pretty good vocabulary.
It's wild to me.
I had a dog one time. I got to where I couldn't say the word car because he would go completely bonkers.
Really?
They
And so
just
I started spelling it, and dang if he didn't learn how to spell CAR. I was like, really? Okay.
Yeah, that's
That's
they
wild.
are pretty smart.
They're super smart.
Well, I want to point something out. You just mentioned just a bit ago that we said, "What do you do for fun?" And you said you've been too busy working in your business and not on your business.
Yeah.
So entrepreneurs out there who watch this, who maybe we've had on or want to start their own business, can you kind of give us what is the difference there, right? In your business and on your business, how important is that? What does that look like for you?
Oh gosh, it is so important, and it does take a mind shift to go from the mindset of an employee to the mindset of a business owner. So as an employee, I've got my schedule. I've got a stretch session here. I've got a break, and then I can go home. And that's the mindset of an employee. And the mindset of a business owner is, okay, I need to be doing this to promote my business. I need to be checking on how is my revenue doing? How are my books looking? How's my budget looking? How's my marketing looking? Where can I get my company out into the community to be seen and discovered and all of that? And and knowing the difference between when do I need to do it and when do I need to delegate that task. And so I have, and it's, you also need to recognize where are your weak points.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm obviously very, very outgoing and happy and energetic and go, but you put numbers in front of me, the brain turns off. I mean, it just literally, I tell people I'm a music major. I can add, subtract, multiply, and divide by 2, and that's all I need. That's all I need. And so recognizing that that's an exceptional weakness for me, I outsource my bookkeeping. I have a bookkeeper that I trust, but I still need to kind of keep an eye on, is she getting everything categorized correctly? Because sometimes she may not know what's going on. I still need to keep an eye on that.
Yeah.
And it's good to know
absolutely.
how to work them at sometimes too. How to run your own books.
So
I thought I would ask that because that is a really important, and I've never heard anyone put it that way, right? Like I've been too busy working in my business and not on it, right?
Yeah.
Like you start this business and you hit it right on the money. Like you have to go promote yourself, get out there, meet people, face to face, get your face out there. So I just wanted to really you to kind of give the difference there because it's important for people to know and stepping away when necessary to really, we talk about that.
Yeah, we do.
You're really busy, going. But how important is it to really maybe step away, whether it's for an hour or however many minutes, to really just recollect yourself, right? And just say, okay, then you go back into it.
Yeah, I have a colleague who owns a small gym studio here in town, and every quarter she takes a week off for business, for quarterly, and she'll plan out her goals, her social media posts. She just disappears for a week. All the emails she wants to send out, newsletters, she does all that. She just takes a week every quarter and gets that stuff done. That's working on her business as opposed to being in the studio doing personal training with client after client after client. So that's the difference between working in and working on.
That's awesome.
Yeah. It sounds like you got I think you got a bright future in that because you're putting your heart into it. You're always passionate about it. But what is your vision like for like the next 5 years? What are you thinking?
Oh gosh.
Within your business.
Yeah.
Are you that far out yet?
Oh, yeah. Are you kidding? I'm like, come on. We need more people in the studio. I need to hit this number so I can go to the next step. I got it all planned. Yeah. Are you kidding? You think my brain isn't going there?
She's like, I'm 20 years ahead.
You're funny. You're funny. No, we have people coming from all over the Panhandle. Yeah. We have, I always get the 2 P towns.
Perryton? Pampa?
Which one's closer?
Pampa.
Yeah. Okay, I get them backwards every time. She comes from Pampa. She works in the school district up there. She's working on her next marathon. And so every week she drives all the way from Pampa to come down here and get her stretch because she recognizes how important this is for her athletic performance, for her training regimen, to keep herself injury-free as she's preparing for this marathon. She sent a friend over here. We've got a couple folks coming from Dumas. We've got some, I think we had one coming from Claude. We had somebody from Groover the other day.
Wow.
So really these outlying areas are hearing about us and they're like, oh my gosh, this feels amazing. I'm giggling because we did that golf tournament over the weekend.
That one you were at?
Yeah, he was at. And there, one of the guys we were stretching, he's like, oh my gosh, this feels so good. Oh my gosh, this feels so good. Yeah. It was really funny. Anyway, we've got people coming from all around, and I recognize that a lot of times these people in the smaller towns, everything is in Amarillo, but it's kind of a pain to have to drive an hour
and a half.
Hour and a half.
Absolutely.
Especially if you hit I-40 right now. That's pretty scary lately. And just to come down here for, people can do either a 25-minute stretch or they can do a 50-minute stretch. But, even a 50-minute driving an hour for a 50-minute stretch and an hour back. So phase 2 of the stretching place is a mobile stretch studio.
That's what I was gonna say.
I want to find. I'm thinking kind of those vans they have at the airport that they take you for, like at DFW, they take you from gate to gate, right? And they've got all the windows on the sides.
Yeah.
Just taking one of those out, gutting it, putting a stretch bed in there, a little desk, and air conditioning, and take them around, and then if we get Groover's 2 hours away,
Think about an hour
if
and a
we've
half,
got 6 or 8 confirmed stretches up there, confirmed appointments. That's worth it for me to send an employee 4 hours of drive time, right? 2 hours up, 2 hours back. But they go up there, they spend the afternoon stretching people over there.
Yeah.
The next day they hit Pampa. Then they hit Tulia or Happy, and as long as we'll have to sit down and do the exact numbers, of course, but as long as I have enough people there to make it worth the while to send somebody out there, that's their job. But it also allows us to do things like hit 24 hours in the canyon. How cool would that be?
Yeah.
To have a climate-controlled space where those athletes who are doing the 24 hours in the canyon thing can come in, get a stretch, get some recovery before taking their next turn
That's
at the
neat.
24 hours in the canyon, or some of the other, I don't know, do they still do the MS Bike 150? I haven't heard anything
I'm
about
not
that
too
in a
sure.
long time.
I didn't even know about the 24 hours in the canyon. That's pretty interesting.
Yeah, so I don't know if they still do that or not, but
Yeah.
those types of events, we can be there.
Be there at
to,
those.
again, support the community, support the charities, and
Yeah. It's a win-win for everyone.
Yeah, exactly.
Getting to promote yourself. So as we were saying, doing that, your vision, you're already thinking ahead, which doesn't surprise me, right? And then your business being successful, there's no way, like, how can it not be successful with the energy you have and all the passion, the heart you have in this? And I just really want to get into, I don't know.
I was gonna ask about is this the only stretching place in Amarillo? Do you
Yes.
know? It is
Right now,
assisted
yes.
stretching.
Yeah.
Okay.
And we are 100% local. This is just me. We are not a franchise.
Okay, awesome.
Kind of told you a little bit about the story of how I got it started.
Yeah.
I tell people that the stretching place is just one crazy woman's dream,
Yeah.
a big dream with a second mortgage. And, and that's the stretching place. There are franchises out there. I know of 2, maybe 3 in Lubbock. And so I anticipate they'll be here eventually.
Yeah.
What comes to
Okay.
Lubbock eventually makes it to Amarillo, except
Absolutely.
for Costco.
Unfortunately.
Unfortunately. And so I anticipate they will be here at some point, but we are 100% local. With a franchise, 10 to 15% of your income goes to the franchisor, the corporate headquarters.
Wow. Okay.
And other money, you have to spend a certain amount for advertising. Some of it you spend locally, some of it goes to the corporate advertising fund. So a big chunk of your income goes
to them.
out of the city.
Okay.
Yeah.
And that's one of the reasons I decided against the franchise model and decided
Yeah.
to just do it myself.
That's awesome. And then for the stretching, is there like a membership people can get, or can you just go in there one time and that's good, or how does that work? Or what do you recommend?
Yeah. Well, stretching is kind of like exercise. You can't go to the gym, do your workout, and say, "Okay, see you next year." It doesn't really work, right? And so stretching is the same way. The more consistent you are, the better the results are. And yes, you can stretch on your own. You need to stretch on your own.
Yeah.
But I still need to have y'all out for a demo stretch.
Yeah.
You've seen
we do need to.
the table, but you haven't had an actual stretch.
Yeah.
We can take the body into a deeper stretch than what you can do on your own. And the stretching technique that we use also involves tractioning the joint, which allows it oftentimes to move a little further. And that traction piece, I could show you, I could explain it, but until you feel it, you don't really get it. But that traction piece just completely changes the way the stretch feels. It changes the effectiveness of the stretch. And it's something you can't replicate on your own. There's a couple you can get close, but you can't replicate it on your own. And so that's where having someone stretch you comes in. And so we are membership based. Anyone is welcome to come in for a stretch. A 25-minute stretch is $65. We do have a BOGO offer going on right now, a buy one, get one free sale. So you get one stretch for $65, then you get a second one.
Awesome.
It allows you to try it 2 times and see how you feel. But we do have membership plans because, like I said, the more frequently and regularly you come in, the better you feel. And so our membership plans can save you up to 40% off of that $65 price,
wow.
depending on how many you get per month.
Yeah, absolutely.
We can do 2, 4, 8, or 12 per month. The 12 pack is really more of a family pack. That's really too much for an individual. It doesn't need to be coming in 3 times a week. That's too much. But most people go for the 4 pack. They come in once a week. We do have a lot of people who like the 8 pack because they come in every week for an hour.
Oh wow. Yeah.
50-minute stretch. Oh, that's so
That's a long time.
Yeah.
No, it goes by in
Does
a
it?
blink.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're
I
like,
bet.
it's done already. Yeah, darling, sorry, it is done.
Yeah.
Though, and I know there's some controversy around that. Do we do a 25-minute stretch? Do we do an hour stretch? Especially if you're used to the massage world where it's, you rarely go less than an hour for a massage. And yes, the hour massages are the hour stretches. I do like them better. They allow us to hold the stretch longer. It gives the tissue more time to just relax and melt and release. But I chose 25 minutes as our standard because some stretching is better than no stretching.
Yeah.
And so with our busy schedules, that allows somebody to come in over their lunch hour, get a stretch, and go back out to their whatever they need to do, right? And unlike with massage, massage is great. I get massages regularly too. But we're having a lot of people who are finding that they prefer stretching to massage. Number one, they're finding that the results last longer than a massage. The massage feels great. You're wonderfully relaxed afterwards. It lasts several hours, especially if you get a massage like 7:30 at night until 9 o'clock, and then you go home and crawl into bed. Oh my gosh, that was the best sleep I ever had. But with the stretching, the relief lasts longer. That's what we're hearing from clients. But you're not all greasy. When you're done, you gotta go home and take a shower, wash your hair, whatever. And like I said, with the 25-minute session, you can come in, get stretched, and go back, or you can do the 50-minute session and get an even deeper stretch.
Yeah. Nice.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
I'm definitely gonna have to try that out for sure.
Yeah.
I know.
You need to try the bed though for sure too.
Yeah.
Try
I
both.
feel like I'm floating.
Yeah. It's so relaxing.
Well, did you have anything?
No, I think I'm good. Do you have anything else that you want
Yeah.
to shout out? Where can we find you on
insights.
social media?
Yeah.
Yeah, well, the stretchingplace.com is our website.
Okay.
And same on Facebook, Instagram, and LinkedIn.
Okay.
It's the Stretching Place all the way around. I already mentioned our BOGO offer.
Yep.
I've got
There
that
we go.
going on.
You're hiring for a front desk?
No, a Flex Pro.
A Flex
the person
Pro.
who is actually doing the stretching. And so
stretching.
what we're looking for there is someone who has at least a reasonable knowledge of the body. So if I say quadricep, they don't point to their nose.
That'd be me.
Yeah. I'd be like, I don't know what you just said. But
That's cool.
Someone with a reasonable knowledge of the body that will allow them to get through the training more quickly. I require them to go through the National Association of Sports Medicine organization has a stretching and flexibility coach certification. So that's the certification I require them to have before they can start working for me. And then I'll teach them some additional stretches. Then once they've been with me for 3 months, they're eligible to go to a week-long training in Phoenix to learn the full technique that we use.
Okay.
That would be at my expense. And so, that's kind of
That's
what I'm
pretty
looking
cool.
for.
we're gonna grow the team. That's awesome.
Yeah. All the details are there on that Facebook
Awesome.
post. It may be on Instagram. I'm not sure, but I know it's on Facebook for sure as far as the hiring.
Awesome.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Tons of insights today. This
Yep.
episode definitely has been fun. So thank you for taking the time,
Yeah.
really, to be
Appreciate
here.
you.
So my favorite thing to do with these episodes, we like to end it this way.
Yep.
You've given a bunch of knowledge today, right? As far as being a business owner, making sure when it's time to be an employee and a business owner, right? Switching those out. And that has been awesome. That's something that's sticking with me. I'm like keeping it here now.
Yeah.
But there's somebody out there that wants to start a business, that has a vision, they have the energy, they're excited like you are. You're excited, you love what you do. And they're scared. Maybe they're like, what am I getting into? They come up to you and they're like, you know what? You've done really well. I'm watching you, seeing how everything you're doing. I want to start my own business. What is that advice you'd give to them?
Surround yourself with good people. No, and I touched on this earlier. Know your strengths, know your weaknesses.
Yeah,
Know when it's appropriate for you to do it and when you need to delegate out.
absolutely.
When you need to, like I said, I recognize that me and numbers do not get along. And so I made sure that I have somebody that I can trust to take care of that section, because that is out. I call it my genius zone.
Yeah.
We all have the genius zones where we go into whatever the thing is and it's effortless. We don't have to think about, we just do it. And people look at you and go, how can you do that? It's like, I don't know, I just do it.
Yeah.
Right? That's your genius zone or your superpowers,
Yeah.
right? And then we all have our kryptonite, areas where we are extremely weak, that we can get it done, but maybe it's done well, maybe it's done wrong, maybe we have to expend so much energy to get it done that now we're wiped out and we don't have the energy we need for our superpower or our genius zone, right? So that's knowing your kryptonite and being able to delegate to someone where that is their genius zone, and so you're filling in the gaps.
That's awesome.
That's great advice. I'm telling you, so much knowledge today, so much insights. And Marla, again, thank you so much for coming on Hustlers Horizon podcast. Yeah. We've definitely enjoyed it. We definitely need to get in there and do a little demo stretch. I know you've been in there. I definitely want to try it out. So thank you again for everything that you do.
Thank you so much.
Best of luck on everything. Congratulations in advance. Congratulations. That is so awesome. It's been awesome to hear your story. Guys, Hustlers Horizon podcast, episode 27. I hope you guys enjoyed the episode. I know we did. But just remember, you can catch these episodes on Spotify and Apple Podcast. Episode 27 with Marla Evans of The Stretching Place. Thank you again for coming on.
Awesome.
And don't forget, Hustlers Horizon podcast is the podcast where you can hustle up, level up, to shift the mindset, to build a better us, build a better business. As always, we will see you next episode.
Let's go.